Greetings to the community. What is going on? YouTube community, Dopetopians of all flavor. You know what I'm saying? Everybody from Dopetopia to YouTubians to people just browsing, people checking it all out. Welcome to Dopetopia, and I am Dope, and this is Dope Comics. Today we got a lot of stuff to go through. What can I say? It's been a busy week. I haven't been on here since Sunday night when I had Hialeah and Lady F and Biggie on. If you ain't checked that out, go check it out. If you like it, subscribe today. If you don't like it, subscribe today and don't watch it. I don't care. I don't care. Send me a like. Comment. I do like if you comment because I like to argue with people, and I also like to communicate with people of the comic community. Anything from comic books to horror movies to Hulk toys to whatever. I can talk anything. But let's start out today with my best read. My best read of the week is out of the back bins, man. Back bins. There's a show called Comic Pop. If you ain't watching Comic Pop, you got to start watching Comic Pop. It's got fucking 4 billion followers, and they actually read their comics. So I like to watch it, and they reviewed Rogues. Rogues is right up my alley. I don't know how this got by me because it just came out. But Rogues is a 4-part series. I read number 1 and ended up buying all 4 of them pretty quick because I want to read all this. It's about B-list, C-list villains in the DC universe, which is where I live. Dopetopia is in DC. We don't go to Marvel Universe too often unless we go down to Hulktown. But anyway, Rogues. Yeah, that's what we was talking about. Rogues is about a bunch of people like Mr. Cold and mainly just the Flash guys, but a couple other rogue people. And they're all old now and in rehab and in the pen and in the insane asylum. And Mr. Cold decides, hey, we need one big score and we will be done and we won't have to live life like a bunch of shitty people. People are making fun of them. Down Mr. Cole's living down by the river, and looks like New Jersey. Down, I don't know, seagulls. What are them things called? Seagulls? Seagulls. Seagulls. Got seagulls everywhere. Living by a damn bunch of old tires and shit, and he's living in a trailer by the river, and he's like, this ain't no life for no fucking villain that's went straight. So he gets his gang back together and they go and do what they do best. They're going to do one more robbery. That way they won't have to live the way they live. So if you want a cool story, I love B-list, C-list, D-list, villains. So this is a great story. Joshua Williams. That's all I got to say when you say Joshua Williamson. That's all you got to say. Joshua Williamson. Read this if you ain't reading it. Shout out to Comic Pop. They hooked me on with this. They hooked me on with it. So go read Rogues. I'll be reading it for the next 4 months. I got all 4 issues, but I'm anybody else like that, I only read 1 issue a month. I like to sit around and let it marinate. Talk about the water cooler. I don't like to binge watch shit on Netflix. I don't like to read multiple issues. I like to read 1 and let it marinate. Let my mind wonder where the story's going to go. Give me another 3 weeks and I'll read another issue. Because I don't like to just read a bunch of shit all at once. Because I like to enjoy it. Take your time with it. Shit, it's like dessert. If you get a good book, take your time with it. Also, the Hulk meter. The Hulk meter has not changed much, man. I get paid every 2 weeks. And, we got a show coming up here in my local town. At the VFW. It's just comics only. They call it Comic-Con because it is a comic convention. We don't have no fruity booties and running around and people signing shit. We don't have none of that. We have comic books. We're a bunch of old men that read comic books. So if you like them kind of comic shows, we got one coming to my local town at the VFW, and I'm hoping to get a Hulk one there. I don't think I'm going to have enough money by the end of September, but I'm going to carry about $8,000 and see what I can do. Maybe I do $8,000 in a trade. I don't know. I've never traded a book in my life. I've never sold a book in my life. And then there's another Comic-Con coming the month after that to the county next to us. And maybe by then I have $9,000. I don't know. Maybe by Christmas I have 10 grand. That 10 to 15 grand is where I think it's going to take to get a Hulk 1 CGC blue and a 1.5 to 2. We'll see what we can do. But the Hulkometer has not changed. But that's the Hulkometer update. Shitty reads. This right here. I've got 2 shitty reads this week. The Infield Gang Massacre. I was wanting to love this. It's a Western. How can you not love Westerns? And the interior is like an old 60s comic book without the smell. And every once in a while, it's got something a little brutal in there. So I was thinking, hey, this might be pretty good. You know, how can it be bad? A little brutal stuff, guy hanging. But anyway, it's horrible. I read That Texas Blood till I dropped off of that. And this is the same writers as That Texas Blood. And it's trash. I wouldn't piss on this if it was on fire. I couldn't even make it all the way through the book. Halfway through the book, I started just looking at the pictures. Because it was horrible read and really horribly done. So on a grading scale, I'm going to give it a 0.5 like CGC does. Because it's incomplete. Because I didn't read it all. Trash. Bestow me. Evil. Next bad thing I read was The Madness. I did not make it all the way through The Madness. I'm usually down with some AWA. I didn't make it through this book. It pretty whack. If it was a condiment for your food, it would probably be called whack sauce. Because it's whack. It'd probably be pink and have pickles in it and bacon bits. I don't know. It's a bad condiment. It's a bad comic. Also, it's trash. The best thing about this is the quality of the paper. And that's about all I can say good about this. Bestow me, evil. We're flying through this shit, you know. Next thing, I try to give a couple shout outs. If you're not subscribed to Hialeah Comic Bro or Metarog, they're 2 people that love comics. I try to always get people to subscribe to people that love comics. And they love comics. I mean, that's the people I want to surround myself with. You know, I'm a collector, but I'm also a reader. And I get just as excited for a 50-cent book as I do a $5,000 book. So, you know, what can I say? This is the kind of people I like. This is the kind of shows I watch. I don't watch the ones that try to treat comics like stocks and boo-hoo, I got a 9.6 after submitting it 12 times to CGC, and I'm going to crack it out and do it again, and this book's down $40 over last week, the sky is falling. I don't care. I don't care what you think is hot. I don't care. Some dude sitting around in his mama's basement telling me what books are hot this week. What do? Just go watch Comic Tom and then just shuffle up a couple of his? I don't know what you're doing and don't care if it's hot. Shit I'm reading like Rogues ain't hot. Never heard of the shit. You know, half the stuff on my pull list that we'll get to in a minute. People don't read but me, and they're not hot. And all these books that are hot, I could care less if it's the first appearance of Central Heat and Air in a comic book or the third appearance of the Spider Buggy. That don't make it a key. Who cares? I mean, a key's got to be a key to me. And I don't care what a key is because I read it from volume 1 to volume 10, from 1 to 100. Every book is the same to me because you got to have them all for the story. Key, I don't buy keys. I buy everything I like. But anyway, I'm getting off base here. BMS Parent asks, what is on your pull box? Danger Street? Superman? Ghost Lore? Incredible Hulk? Brian Moore? That is not a name. That is one word, Brian Moore. It's a horror title by IDW. Tenet? Conan? And I'm also picking up Action Comics Doomsday 1 this week. You know, I love Joker, but after Joker, my favorite DC villain is probably either Polka Dot Man or Doomsday. So Doomsday is great. They don't do enough stuff with Doomsday. I feel like Doomsday would bash Darkseid. I feel like Doomsday is the top notch for Superman. I mean, he's the only person that ever kills Superman. I feel like Doomsday might be the only person that could kill my boy here, Hulk. Doomsday is the shit. I like Doomsday. We need more Doomsday in our life. So I'll be picking that up. Next, Chillborn Watch. Ask. Well, he really ain't asking. He's just telling me. He said, you opened up a hornet's nest asking people to read their books. LOL, not 101, LOL. Yeah, I guess I did open up a hornet's nest. Who would have thought coming on a comic book show and, or at the end of my videos saying, hey, read your books is a bad thing or offensive. But in today's time, if you come on your channel and read or do a comic book show and you say at the end of it, read your books, some people don't like that. Read your books. I don't know what to tell you. People are always bitching about today's market, or people are just buying keys, or, you know, why are there so many number ones? Why does titles start over at number one? They start over because they have to sell books. And the reason they have to sell books is because people are only buying keys. So by coming out with a number one every 6 months, you will buy it because it's a key. Back in the day when people used to read books, you could have 1 through 1,000 because you read your book. There was no key. You was interested in the stories, and the stories is the value. Not, you know, what key collector says is the value. What the story is what you're getting paid. I roll my books up and I put the motherfucker in my back pocket, and I will take it down to the fucking lake and I will read it. I don't care. I don't care if it's got creases. It's my book and I'm not selling it. And all modern stuff I read. That's the way it works, people. Read your books. If people want to know how to make the comic book healthy, or comic book community wants to know how to make the comic book industry healthy again, start reading titles. Because all of a sudden, issue 14, issue 53, they're all important. It don't have to be an issue 1. Because you want to read the story. Guess what? You're also going to be there every month buying that issue. Because you want to read the story. Come on, man. Got me on my high horse out here. Read your books. Let's take a break. Let's talk about what I ate for breakfast this morning. Some dope flakes. Dope flakes. 6 ounces of dope flakes. 6 ounces of whole red top milk equals 6 ounces of knowledge. Get you a bowl of dope flakes. Dope flakes. It's fun. It's real. It's from Dopetopia. All right, enough of that. Next, well, let me show you this real quick. We were talking about B, C, D list, villains. We were talking about reading your books. And people, one of the comments, another comment I got was, well, you got all those old school books, all those pre-code horror books. They're in CGC cases. Yeah, but I also have many, 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 many more that are reprints that I read. And lots of those I bought in the cases I first bought as a poor kid in the reprint form. And I read it and said, man, one day I'd like to have this book capsulized. That way we can protect it forever. But what's most important is the story. So I read a lot of reprints. I have more reprints, and I've read more, EC books than I have original capsulized. That's what I do. We're talking about C and D list celebrity or bad guys, villains, rogues. Here's one of my favorite books of all time. People hate this book. I love it. This is the first Polka Dot Man. As you can see right there, there's Polka Dot Man. This is Detective Comics 300 and a 3.5. And you can see there is Polka Dot Man. And you know what he's doing? He just got done trying to rob a carpet store that cleans carpets. Get it? Polka dot. I guess there's a dot on the carpet. Anyway, a stain or something. But anyway, he was robbing a carpet shop with his boys there whenever old rich boy and his little boyfriend showed up. So, I bought this book and I love this book. But you know what? I wanted to read this book. This thing's capsulized and I couldn't read it. So what did I do? As far as I know, there ain't no reprint. I finally, after looking at eBay forever, found a coverless copy and paid $40-something for it. I know it says $35 right there I paid, but I had to have it shipped to me. This thing was $40-something for a coverless copy, and I was happy to pay for it. And you know what? I love this book. I've read this book multiple times, and I love this book. This, to me, I get just as much enjoyment out of as I do this. Yeah, this is beautiful, and it's got the cover on it. And I wouldn't sell it for 3 times what it's worth. But I also love this. I get to read it. This makes me love that. This makes me love that. That's the way it works. This is the shit, yo. Read your books. I'm not just saying it. I'm doing it. I paid $40-something for a coverless copy just to read. Because the story's worth more than $40-something to me. I've always wanted to read that story. I fell in love with Polka Dot Man when everybody else did. Whenever Suicide Squad came out with James Gunn. So I went out, bought every Polka Dot Man cover that's ever existed. I bought every Polka Dot story that ever existed. And I love anything Polka Dot Man. And I've read everything Polka Dot Man. As far as I know, if there's something out there I don't know, just leave in the comments. And I'm sure I've read it. But if I haven't read it, I'll pick it up. That's the way it works. Damn. All right. So let's get into a little show and tell. We'll do a little show and tell. First, we've got to bring some fire out. This is Spider-Man #1. Great story, I guess. People love it. It's been going on for, 800-some issues? It's what I love about comics. It's an ongoing story. I don't like to look at one book and say, great story. Yeah, they're little stories, but you got to read I love to read how the characters evolved. My favorite character, Hulk, I've got a lot of the 60s Hulks. I got 2 through 6 right now. I'm trying to get 1. But it blows my mind how much he went from that Hulk that was gray and barely bigger than a soldier, and he was hiding from private soldiers, just regular everyday soldiers in the woods, scared of soldiers, to becoming what you see in like a mortal Hulk, where he is an actual monster. He's evolved over 60 years. Evolved. And I love to follow the transformation. So I call it all one story. So, but this is a good little part of the story. It's a good origin and everything. People love this book. This is a 2.5. I got this book. It says Max and Charlie on top of it. And I bought this book from a woman. It says her dad bought this at a yard sale in Cleveland. And bought it from 2 brothers. And I guess their names were Max and Charlie. They cared enough about the book to put their name on the top of it. It says Max and Charlie right there, if you could see it. And says that her dad bought it for $1.50 at a yard sale. And I didn't believe it. I was like, yeah, whatever. Just sell it to me for $5 or $6 grand. And then one day I started looking at it real close. And right there you can see it, $1.50 written on the book in pencil. So maybe she did, or her dad did buy it for $1.50. I don't know, but that's besides the point. Just a little show and tell. The reason I'm showing this is because of this. Oh, more fire. What are we doing here? Smile. Hey. 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 Look at that. That's going to be like the thumbnail or something, I guess. But the reason I brought this out is to show you this. This, to me, is a better story than this. This, to me, is a better character than this. This, to me, if I had to choose between these two, I would take this. Because me and my wife love Daredevil. We love the Netflix show. It's something we do together. She's a Daredevil fan. She loves everything about Daredevil. She loves Karen Page. Is that her name, Karen Page? Yeah, don't sound right. But yeah, Karen Page, Foggy Nelson. She loves everything to do with this. And my daughter, which is 15, she watches all the Amazing Spider-Man movies and loves everything to do with this. But I like this better. And I got to agree with Romita. Romita Jr. drew this, Romita Sr. drew this before he got asked to be put on this. He started drawing Amazing Spider-Man on issue 39. But before then, he was a Daredevil fan. And he didn't want to leave Daredevil. And I don't blame him. I think Daredevil is a better superhero than Spider-Man. But I love them both. And there you go. Good stuff. What can I say? Good stuff. But I want to show you these 2 books because you got to bring out a little fire on your show. If you want anybody to watch your show, you got to bring out a little fire and show good books. Because right now, I've got Spider-Man 1 through 100. And The first 50 something are CGC cased. After that, I didn't feel like going any farther because after 55, I didn't feel like there's nothing that really needed to be put in a CGC case. But I'm now working on Daredevil 1 through 100, and I have 1 through, like, I don't know, 90. And then I've got random issues from 90 to 100. I think I need 4 more to finish my 1 through 100 run. And that's what I got right over here. A big stack of Daredevil, 80 through 99. And so it's not all of them. Like I said, it's number 81. This is the hardest one to get after 80. This is the first 25 cent. When I was collecting these, I started collecting all the yellow covers, which is 1 through 6 when he wore the yellow suit. Then I collected all the 12 cent issues, and then I collected all the 15 cent issues. And this is the first one that's not 15 cents. It's a thick square bound book. It's 25 cents. And this is the first time these two met up. And this is where I started not really liking the run. Here's 82. 82. Yeah. I've got 81 somewhere, but this is 82. Well, this is 81, isn't it? Yeah. So we started at 81. I thought we started at 80. So this is 82. And as you can see, Jeff really liked his book. I love when books have names on them, or when they have a date stamp or some kind of history that somebody loved them. If you put your fucking name on your book, you really loved it. You didn't want nobody to steal it. And Jeff loved this story. And I love the fact that Jeff loved this story. And the fact that I'm not selling it, I don't care what it's worth. I don't care if it's a 9.4 or a 4.9. Anyway, there you go. There is Jeff's book. Oh, me. Here is number 83. Cool book. Here is 84. Getting shot in the back. You can see Daredevil's rib cage. Here is 85. You can tell some of these I picked up at my comic shop. If they're in good plastic, I don't even redo them. This is one of my favorite characters. This is a D-list character called Ox. And if you remember Ox, first time you see Ox is in Amazing Spider-Man number 10. But that is Ox. And he's underused. Bring back Ox. I really like Ox. There's not a lot of D and C list characters I like in the Marvel universe. But if most of them are all Daredevil, because Daredevil had some of the worst rogues. Spider-Man had the good rogues. Daredevil had the shitty rogues. I mean, people like Stiltman, Leapfrog, which he was in Spider-Man 2, I believe. You know, they used the Ox a lot. They used a lot of crazy stuff. Purple Man. The Owl is underused. The Owl's undervalued. You need to go out and get... I think Owl's first appearance is number 3. And when I say Owl, I'm talking about O-W-L. The Owl, not Owl like Al Bundy. Here he is. Fighting my man there. So that's a cool cover. Everybody loves Electro. He's also on the cover of issue 2, which is a great book. You get the second appearance Electro, second appearance Daredevil on one cover. Great book. Here we go. Number 94. I don't like the way they did the trade dress where they had the Black Widow up there. But it is what it is. So that started somewhere between 89 and 94, it looks like. Here's 95. And here is Man Bull. Man Bull is a cool character. I don't know how you could really use him in a book. I can see how you could use Ox in a street level character book, but I don't know how you're going to use Man Bull. And here's 96. So Man Bull. Looks like Man Bull gave it to Black Widow. She's limping away. Well, Man Bull wasn't playing. And here is 97. Daredevil and the Black Widow. And they're going against the Dark Messiah. I think this might be the first appearance of the Dark Messiah. He's a crappy character with a triangle on his chest. So I am well on my way to getting 1 through 100. And that's the thing. I never stop collecting. You know, just because I'm saving all my money and I'm not buying no pre-code horror right now, big books, because I'm saving for the Hulk meter. You got to really want stuff when you buy it. And if you save your whole life for shit, you'll enjoy your collection, you know. Don't just every time you get $2,000 in your pocket, let it burn a hole in your pocket and go out and buy something. If you want something that's $15,000, save for it. I'm saving for Hulk right now, and I'm not spending big money on big books. But I finished my Swamp Thing Volume 1 run, 1 through 24. I finished my Man Thing run, which is 1 through 22, first volume. I finished my 1 through 85 this year, which is Witching Hour. I'm still picking up little books. I finished my, what else have I finished lately? Fixing to finish Daredevil. That's 1 through 100 this year. I finished my Machine Man. There's lots of things I've finished. And it gives me time to concentrate on that. Just like when we had COVID. It gave me, a lot of people sit around and bitched and moaned, but I went back and found back issues and read stuff that I'd been wanting to get around to that I didn't have time to get to. So there's always stuff to do. I'm working on my back issues and little things right now and spending a little money. I'm still going hunting, and I'm spending a little money here and there, but I'm not spending big money. I'm saving most of my money, and I'm having fun doing what I'm doing, and I'm reading my books. And besides that, only other things I'm really buying right now is I find these Hulk toys. I'm always buying Hulk toys. I have most of cool stuff I like. So I pick up these Hulk toys, and they look badass. Look at them veins on his chest. This is my Hulk. You know what I'm saying? But I do all this stuff. I have fun collecting. It don't matter if it's 50-cent comics, $10 comics, or $10,000 comics. I love comics, and everybody should love comics, not just the valuable ones. But until the next time, read your book!